Hello, my name is Garcia Ashdown-Franks from the University of Toronto, and today I'll be presenting on behalf of my colleagues, Dr. Angela Meadows and Dr. Ava Pila at the University of Western, on some work that we've done looking at exploring women's histories of white stigma and physical activity. So some background to start: anti-fat bias and stigma are pervasive in traditional physical activity contexts. This includes contexts such as leisure contexts, recreational ones, or more competitive sporting contexts. And anti-fat bias and stigma have been found to disproportionately impact higher weight women and contribute to social and health inequities across the lifespan. And so further research is needed to understand how early accumulation of weight stigma experienced in physical activity might impact on physical activity experiences in adulthood. Furthermore, research is also needed to explore physical activity from a weight-inclusive perspective, so exploring its capacities not only for health promotion, but also for attunement, pleasure, and joy. Therefore, the purpose of this work was to explore women's histories of body weight, shape, and size stigmatization in physical activity contexts, and to understand how women's constructions and interpretations of these past experiences influenced their current relationship with physical activity. So in total, there were 18 participants with a mean age of 27 years old. The women were recruited based on having had negative experiences related to their body weight, shape, or size in physical activity. So participants completed historical physical activity timelines, which guided their interview discussions of how past weight stigmatizing experiences influenced their current relationship with physical activity. Reflexive thematic analysis was conducted using a social constructionist lens. In terms of results, 4 themes were identified, which included, you're just going to be too big for that, norms of body belonging. This theme subsumed social construction of physical activity prompting body exclusion, a lack of available diverse athletic clothing, and discrimination being transmitted through social structures. An example that illustrated this was Katie, who explained, I have this one memory where in my dressing room, in my mom's dressing me, and I'm telling her, I'm too fat. I don't want to wear this. I'm too fat. I didn't like the way the ballet leotard fit me, and I think that's kind of crazy. I'm 4 years old, really, and that's what I'm thinking about. The second theme was surrounded by people that didn't look like me, distancing from an active identity. This theme included self-protection against identity threats, and in some cases, experiential avoidance, so avoiding activity altogether. An example of this was when Beth explained how she would oftentimes choose not to engage in a physical activity because of her weight, and she explained it's like putting yourself down because you know somebody else will. The third theme was lose weight because you're gonna hold your whole back at war with the body. This included navigating pressures to conform the body, familial concern trolling, as well as the body being weaponized. As Maria explains, my mom deciding that the best way for her to get me to lose weight was to say, oh, I'll give you £1 for every 5 pounds you lose. And I was like, great, I'll take the money. But that meant for all that time, it was yo-yo dieting. And I felt under a lot of pressure. And also I was like, why are you giving me money? This is really weird, but also great. Stop trying to offer me money to get me to be the weight you want me to be. A final theme looked at acts of resistance, which included challenging dominant discourses and committing to more affirming and inclusive physical activity. Arabella explained after finding a new rugby team. It doesn't matter if you're 100 pounds to 300 pounds, we're gonna find a spot for you. And girls will be after practice taking their shirt off, walking around in their sports bra, talking, and I'm like, wow, this is what it should be like. This is what, this really shows the beauty of sport and how it can bring people together despite their differences. So to have that contrast from me, like, oh my God, I hate how I look, to being like, wow, you know what? No, I'm gonna celebrate my body. So overall, women highlighted the pervasive manifestation of fat phobia throughout the lifespan. And the permanence of early childhood memories which shaped women's lifelong relationships with both their bodies and physical activity. These findings deepen our understandings of how historical experiences of weight stigma can have long-standing consequences on physical activity cognitions, emotions, and behaviors. To ethically and equitably promote physical activity, movement spaces such as fitness centers or sport organizations ought to target anti-fat stigma and adopt weight-inclusive principles. This might include, for example, provision of attire in a wide range of sizes, the use of inclusive language, messaging, or signage, or weight-inclusive policies. So thank you for listening, and any questions, we'll be happy to answer them either by email or at the live Q&A session. Thank you.